Chris Bianchi with a check of the forecast, and joining me as well is 9 News reporter Jeremy Hola, who joins us from Boulder County, where the wind has been whipping. We've had over 100-mile-an-hour wind gusts in parts of Boulder County so far today. So I want to send things over to Jeremy for an update in terms of what we're seeing there. Jeremy, how's the wind? Is it coming in spurts? Is it consistent? What is it like there in Boulder right now?
It comes in very strong spurts, very strong gusts, Chris. I'm actually at the corner here of Highway 170 and Highway 93. Highway 93 behind me, as we know, as we've been reporting throughout the morning, has been shut down because of the strong winds. And you'll remember what happened in this area here in Colorado nearly 4 years ago to the day, actually, when the Marshall Fire erupted in conditions that were very much like this. The winds here are extremely, extremely strong. We were up in the northwest area of the city today about an hour ago, and we saw multiple large pine trees falling in on residential areas, on roads. We counted about 3 or 4 trees falling down, hitting power lines. So linemen are going to have their workout cut out for them. Fire officials are also responding to at least one fire that I saw on their Twitter feed today that's been quickly put out. So very, very ripe conditions for a fire to start here this afternoon. Let's hope that does not happen, but the wind here, extremely, extremely strong. Chris, back to you.
All right, thanks so much, Jeremy. And just to put a little context of what Jeremy was talking about a second ago, 3 separate 100-mile-an-hour plus wind gusts so far in Boulder County, Niwot, just north of there. Within the last half hour, 102-mile-an-hour wind gust at the Mesa Lab in South Boulder, an 105-mile-an-hour wind gust about 2 hours ago. And then within the last hour, they just touched 100 miles an hour again there. And Sunshine Canyon, if you're unfamiliar, that's near Gold Hill, kind of above Boulder, 106-mile-an-hour wind gusts. We're seeing regular 80 to 90-mile-an-hour wind gusts, including where Jeremy is there around the Highway 93 interchange. So it's not just Boulder and the immediate front range. The mountains getting some pretty nasty winds as well, seeing some regular 40, 50, 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. Berthoud Pass just clocking in with a 75-mile-an-hour wind gust, 65 at the airport on the northeast side of Boulder. If you're familiar with Boulder, that is the least windy side of the city. So the airport, 65-mile-an-hour wind gusts. We've seen around Erie, Longmont, some occasional 60-plus-mile-an-hour wind gusts as well. As Jeremy was saying, this wind is not super consistent. So you might notice that 11 in Nederland. If you're joining me from Nederland, you go, it is not 11-mile-an-hour wind. It just comes and goes. You'll get a spurt of it, then it goes away, then it calms down. Then you get a spurt, then it goes away, then it calms down. That is classic of this mountain wave setup. That is the kind of wind that we're dealing with today, these downslope mountain wave events. 60, 70, 80-mile-an-hour winds for us. These will budge east. So most of Denver, we have had a little bit of wind for us here at the 9 News studios, about a 40-mile-an-hour peak gust. But again, for the most part, winds are fairly tame across the majority of the metro area. That is going to change after dark tonight. So again, in Denver, majority of the metro area, you've not seen your wind yet. It's not going to be as bad as the foothills, but we will get 40 to 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts after dark tonight. You might remember Wednesday night when it was kind of loud and windy throughout the evening. That's what it looks like for tonight and into tomorrow. Out at the airport, by the way, check it out. Unfortunately, the airport right now leading the world in delays so far today because of the wind and nasty turbulence there as well. Now, this is the other concern. Jeremy was saying how ripe it feels out there in Boulder. He's exactly right. We're talking about single-digit, low teens relative humidity. This is a measure of the amount of moisture in the atmosphere. Folks, this is tumbleweed dry. This is bone dry for us here along the Front Range. That is why we're so concerned about today's fire danger. 60 to 100-mile-an-hour winds between now and about 6 p.m. in Boulder. Then those winds will lax tonight. And in Denver, winds will be at their strongest after 5 o'clock. Notice between now and 5 o'clock, 20 to 30-mile-an-hour winds. Those winds pick up tonight and into early tomorrow. So again, in Denver, strongest wind tonight. I think I've said that 5 times. I'll say it a 6th time. Well, I just said it 6th time. Meantime, high wind warning for us here in the mountains and the foothills. That goes till 8 p.m. And the reason why we're so concerned, that bone dry humidity we were talking about, winds will be as strong as they were on Wednesday, but these winds, longer lasting. You might remember in Boulder, it was around this time when that wind started to pick up, but we've already seen it for a couple of hours now. So a longer lasting and much drier wind event compared to Wednesday. So please be smart here, Colorado. We'll have more updates through the afternoon right here on 9 News.